Hello everybody, it's the Monkey King with my next X-Men Legends 2 video. We hope y'all enjoy it. This is my Trap Masters team. Let's go wipe out some enemies of the X-Men. I'm going to do the Danger Room map Survival 504 so you can see, basically so we can fight as many enemies as possible so you can see how effective this team is. Magneto doing his magnetic grasp while wearing radiation armor, armor that does radiation damage. I've got Jean Grey and Iron Man both using turrets, and Cyclops has a mine that he throws out. That's the blinking blue light in the center of the map. Levitation to bring those enemies into the fold, to the epicenter of the carnage. Gotta love those gamma bolts. They're fun to watch and very effective. I'm also throwing out, I forget what it's called, something like a black hole with Iron Man. It sucks enemies in as well.
Is that your best shot? This one's too strong. We need help.
So with this Cyclops, I'm doing Fusion Beam, because overall it does the most damage of all his beam attacks. It takes about 3 seconds to do the damage, and it does lots of damage, and it has a lower EP cost than some of his other attacks, like Polarized Beam.
This one's too strong. We need help. Get together, people. Attack my target.
Using my Metal Minion attack to do more damage. He doesn't do a lot of damage, but he helps distract and he does damage the enemies. Just gonna hold that enemy so the turrets can take him out. Cyclops' mind. Hold him over Cyclops' mind, auto artillery.
Congratulations. You have successfully completed the course.
Alright, so I hope y'all enjoyed that. I'm going to go over how I did this with this team. Alright, so let's start off with the turret experts first. So I got Jean Grey. She has the best turret in the game. Mental Guardian. Look at all the damage it does, lasts 26 seconds, which is a long time for a low EP cost. She has almost 1,000 EP, so that's a small amount, 142 EP, and it lasts that long. And you got her using her memory wipe skill as an area effect skill to stun and make enemies run away and do damage. And then with this version of Jean Grey, I'm just using Psychic Spike as her other attack, because that's basically what your Mental Guardian shoots out. I don't have it ranked up, maxed out very much because it's not that important, but it does do additional damage. Alright, go to Iron Man. So, using his auto turret. One of the cool things about his auto turret is the bullets, once they hit, they actually explode, and so they do more area of effect damage than Jean Grey's Mental Guardian shooting the Psychic Spikes, but his bullets don't home in on the enemies. But it still lasts a long time for a low EP cost. Does a good amount of damage. And then I'm using his tractor beam, is what it's called. kind of like Magneto's magnetic grass, so they can't move around with it, to suck enemies in, suck them into the traps, and it stuns them. And then of course I'm using his Gamma Bolts, which I love. It's one of my favorite attacks in the game. They're very effective, fun to watch. And then of course I have all this maxed out. Iron Man has excellent defenses. And let's go to Cyclops. So this version of Cyclops, definitely using his optic flash, the area effect to stun enemies, and so his mine, his auto artillery can constantly do damage. So his auto artillery, his mine lasts just as long as the turrets, but it's, you know, sends out an area of effect damage. I'm using his fusion beam, which I said, which does a good amount of damage for low EP costs. Like, okay, so what, 118 EP as opposed to 152 EP. That does less damage. You know, that one does less damage, but costs more EP. But it's fun to watch and hits other enemies. But I'm using fusion beam with this version of him. Alright, you know, these are the upgrades I have. You always want to max these out. So both Magneto and Cyclops have leadership, and that skill actually stacks. So I got an 18% critical chance doing a 184% combo XP. So it's pretty useful, especially if you stack it. Then we got Magneto. He's really the key to this team. So I mean, I use levitation to bring enemies into the fold, into the fight where the fight is centered. His shrapnel sentry is definitely one of his best skills. Usually almost all of them hit for damage. And they stay there forever until an enemy hits them. And does decent amount of damage for relatively low EP costs. And then I use his magnetic grass. Now I purposely don't have this skill maxed out, because the more you max it out, the more EP it costs per second. And it's just as effective. You know, you don't really use this skill for damage. You use it to control the battlefield, control the enemies on the battlefield, and bring them into the fight. So it's one of my favorite skills in the game. It's just fun to use and fun to watch. And then guys, you know, uses metal minion for additional damage. Iceman's super is a little bit better, but this is almost like his. But Magneto's not really spec to be a melee fighter, but it does additional damage. And Magneto, with his passes, you can turn him into an incredible melee fighter. All right. So I hope y'all enjoy this team. I love making these videos for you. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And thank you so much for giving me your time. And don't forget to enjoy this classic game. Y'all have a good one. This is the Monkey King out.